Oh, good morning, Kevin. How the heck are you doing today?
Oh my God, I'm doing so great, so great. Love the T-shirt. That
Oh, thank
kind of like a foreshadowing of something I think coming.
yes, and
Yes, yes.
you too can get your own
Ooh.
dark mode T-shirt here. So go ahead. Dark mode is here. Show your support and love for dark mode, like we all do. So,
But yeah, I'm doing great. Gonna get on a flight in a few hours and head up to St. Paul and go to their sequel Saturday tomorrow. So I'm
oh,
very excited about that.
that is
Um,
awesome. That I mean, and Aaron has it right. That's the best day ever. How
yes.
exciting is that, right?
Did you
Oh.
combine? You got to combine your like best day ever and dark mode into one T-shirt. Buy
You
them
know,
both,
Kevin, I might just do that.
or just buy them both, people, and cut them and paste them together. cut
There
and
you
paste,
go.
cut and paste with fabric.
Oh,
Oh man.
it's good to see everyone that's headed out to Minnesota. Looks like uh, Stina, are you going to Minnesota? Or Donald's going? Kevin's
Oh
going?
yeah, Donald's on the road already. I'm surprised Donald was here. I didn't expect to see him in the chat.
Yeah, that's excited to see everyone here. Oh, Christina's not going to be able to make it, I don't think. Minnesota's a good time.
She says the
Yeah.
remote
Oh,
needs to be switched. I thought I switched it this morning. Talk amongst yourself.
yeah. All right.
Oh, it is the
Oh, and
wrong.
Aaron's headed off there too. Oh man. So I'll say
That should be better.
I I'm not gonna. Oh, that is much better. Oh, I
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
change my
I
mic.
didn't know that you were going. Look, try to find.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss the dinner tonight because I don't get in till I don't know 6:30 or something like that. But bright and early tomorrow morning, I'll be looking for everybody.
Awesome. Um. Huh. So me and my wife have planned out date nights and whatnot,
Hmm.
and that's this weekend. We're going on a date, and because we're being more purposeful in
It's
doing those
great.
types of things. Yeah, yeah. That all you guys out there, ask your wife on a date. Invest in that. Invest in that. That side of the house. Don't let that just go by. So
Yeah, we kind of automated that, or I automated that because I get forgetful. So my wife likes musicals, so we just bought like a season pass to a musical thing, and also a little community theater, right? So this way I don't have to ask for the date. I just go, oh, here's our date night.
here's
'Cause
our tickets.
yeah,
We've
it's
already
our,
bought them. Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
else figures out the dates for me. So
And it looks like Aaron is taking his wife to Sequel Saturday for date day. Oh, I was gonna say that's either like the best date ever or like the worst date ever. So, but apparently,
my son is going up there with me, but it's not date time.
yeah.
He's on his own while he's there. So
Oh, okay. Awesome, awesome. I'll say, I had a little medical issue a few weeks ago, and
oh,
I had to go speak at a conference in Chicago this week, and my wife came along with me, but she wasn't allowed into the conference because it just wasn't that type of a thing. So she had to sit in a hotel lobby for like 3.5 hours. So she was quite the trooper for that. So
so
uh,
I don't know how this will go over, but I'll try it. You could have got her. You could have done like what a lot of other people do and just get a service person patch instead of a service dog, and say that
what's that?
you see how people bring dogs in that are not really service dogs to everywhere, and they go on Amazon and buy their own service dog vest or something like that. You could have called
Yeah.
her a service person and say that she needed to be there to help you with your medical thing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, if a joke takes a lot to explain,
Yeah.
Stina gets my sense of humor. She kind of got it, so, but still got an OMG out of it.
Oh, good deal. Good deal. But so excited to hear about everyone going to Sequel Saturday, Minneapolis. That's exciting. Ignite is a month from now or so. So like the hits just don't
Mm,
just keep coming. Ignite is sold out. I can't get tickets.
yeah,
So
yeah, it sold out a while ago.
yeah, like I was quite shocked, and so If anyone has tickets, let me know. I don't know how people are going, but
Are they on the black market now?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they're go to StubHub reselling for Ignite tickets.
Yeah, yeah, that's a little crazy, but we've got a lot that we're going to be getting into today, so let's why don't we just like hop right into it. So
Let's do it.
FabCon was this week, right? Oh, my camera's all wonky. What the heck is going on?
Do you want to do any rules first, or
Oh gosh, dang! This is the first time at the doing a live stream. I am super
It's the
ready.
first time every week. This is the
Yes.
first time this week we've done this live stream, so we gotta try to remember what's going on.
Yes. All right. Why don't you hit us with rule 1?
Rule 1: put any Q colon in front of any questions. That way, we'll be able to catch them. Hopefully, like last week, the chat will get going pretty heavily, so that we use that to really kind of filter them out. Rule
Okay.
2:
Rule 2:
do not repeat questions. That's just, we'll see them. We work with computers. We understand how things work. So
Good deal. And where can people find us?
they could find us online at X at Kratos BI, or myself at Kev Arnold, or pretty much the same at LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you'll search for Chris Wagner or Kevin Arnold, and connect with us. I love. I get some messages from people all the time. I love it. Start other conversations that just kind of tail in, tail out. Join us up on social media.
Yep. And then if you're watching, because we're streaming in a bunch of different places. So we're on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Rumble, soon to be Twitch, and I'm looking at a couple others as well. So we want to just be available. But the best place to interact with us chat-wise is over on YouTube. So we do recommend, you can watch and enjoy in all of these places. But if you want to interact, ask questions, come over to join us over on YouTube. And with that, we're going to do the question of the day, and then we're going to jump into it. We want to know, what is your favorite announcement that's come out of FabCon EU? We've all seen lots of things coming, and there are pages upon pages upon pages of updates that we're about to get into. So
I tried staying on top of it during the week, and then I still had to do some more research last night. And if you just go to the Fabric blog main page, I think it was 4 pages I had to go through before I got to the end of the announcement. So there was like 4 or 5 per page, so that's close to 20 different announcements, and that only includes things that they actually wrote articles for. Right? There was a couple sneak peeks that we'll talk about that they didn't even write articles for them yet. So
yeah, you could see, like, I've got the announcement page up here, and I've got a we're gonna hit on this, but I've got a tab for each of the main sections: Power BI Core, Data Warehouse, Data Engineering, Data Science, Real-Time Intelligence, Data Factory, and those, that's just, those are the headline bullet point items. There's tons of announcements in each one of these sections. It's straight up, it's crazy sauce, like how many updates there are out there.
and think about it, right? Is they're going to do another Fabric Conference US in March. So between now and March, they gotta top this. Will they? Or at least match it, right? You got to try to match the same number of announcements. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of good features coming out in the future. This platform, like we've said a couple of times, at least it's just going to continue to grow, just like Power BI did in its early days, and it's at a great point right now. So
Yeah, 100%.
what
Yeah,
what
yeah.
did we lose?
Sorry. What's that?
How did I lose you?
No. I'm just I'm realizing that I have to make a change to something here before, so we can really get the best out of this presentation.
All right.
So hold on one second here.
So,
as
always, we're prepared as ever.
Yes.
Yeah. So as he's kind of fixing one little thing, I see some good chat coming on, but anybody want to say anything? Have you followed the conference? Have you followed, the announcements that are coming out.
Mm.
So yeah, Michael just came in. T-SQL notebooks. I love that. I have that on my list, and unfortunately, last night I couldn't get them to work. Um, I couldn't attach the warehouse for some odd reason, as what I saw in the blog post and everything. So,
Mm.
but I'm super excited for the T-SQL notebooks. Super excited for them.
Well, let's dive into
What's the number one?
dark mode. So I am jazzed about this, especially if you work with, if you prefer to work with dark Power BI reports, and you do a lot of this in different areas. Oh, let me turn off my QR code. Um, you've got this great, you've got all of your everything that's on your report is in dark. It's really still crisp and easy to read, but so much lighter and easier on your eyes. As you look at anything and everything, it's very easy to access and consume. I'm going to point out I've got two criticisms that I've sent to the product team, and I can confirm they're actively working on fixing this. So look for this to be resolved soon. Uh, I only have two. Number one
Okay.
is right here. I have a visual selected in which I'm using the dim reseller table. This little check mark is
Oh,
really hard to read in dark mode. So when you just look over and skim to see what's in use, you're going up, you're looking like, no, 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 no,
yeah,
no. Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
oh, wait,
yeah.
this one is right. So they're gonna fix that. That's the thing that's coming. Um, I would expect that potentially in October, maybe November, but that'll be fixed. And then the other one that I noticed was, now it's not a problem here on this PC. This is very legible to me. This sub menu here, export, show as table, new visual calcs, remove, right? Um, but on my work laptop, this looked dim. I was barely able to read these items. So I sent that over to the PM who owns this stuff, and she's got an engineer who's going to be working on upping the contrast on both of these. So the contrast in the text is going to be updated here, and I think what they're going to do uh, on items that are in use is they're going to flip what's white. So the circle
Mm.
here is going to be white, and then the check mark's going to be black. So
Oh, okay.
we'll see.
That should be able to help.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and maybe you just invest in better equipment for your own personal use than your company does.
And I also have my that could be. I also was presenting at a conference, so I switched my battery into like eco-friendly mode to run for the whole thing. So it's possible that that's adjusting how bright it allows some things to be. So there's that.
It could be.
Yeah. I am a huge fan. I mean, as you go through and look at your anything inside of a desktop, it stays in dark mode, so it's really
Mhm.
easy to look at and use.
I like this view. I really do.
Right, right. Yeah. Hashtag the dark side is right. That is so true. This just to me, this looks fantastic.
Mhm.
And maybe they should do a green box, a green circle with a black check. Well, whatever. Um,
Yeah, it's in their
uh,
color palette, so
right,
that
right.
green would stand out more on that. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. And then I go to DAX. It's all black here too. So I am just a huge fan of that. Yes, if I go in and create a new report, I can launch a new desktop
Mhm.
item. Oh, and it's showing up on my other screen
Of course.
because
That's
that's
how
how we roll,
real-time
right?
demo goes.
Right. And now I've lost my screen. So I go ahead and I can click on blank report, and now I've got my clean open palette that I'd want to have, so I can go in and work here. But all of my visuals that I'm still working on outside of here is still in dark mode. And as I go and do anything inside of here, it's still dark. But because a lot of my reports are going to be white, it it uses a nice white canvas for me to work on, right?
Mhm.
Um, no, yes, I want to review the files. Yeah.
Yeah, I still like this mode as well, but
Hmm.
Andrew even brings up it's something that I've seen across some of the social medias, um, that so much of your canvas is already white. Dark mode's not giving you a lot, but I think as you showed, well, wait a minute. As soon as you go to your other views, it's already in dark mode too, and
Yep.
you have to kind of think about what you're pushing out. But a lot of people like Andrew have also enjoyed the other theme that they added, which was the light theme, right? Right. So now we have a default, we have
Yeah.
a light, and we have dark, and there's a couple contrast differences, I think, on from default to light. And I've seen the same type of thing. The people that are not really, you know, always like dark mode, they're liking the new light mode theme as well. So the options, right? Everybody's a little bit different, and this way you kind of look at it a little bit different way. So whatever's good for you. Yeah, you didn't warn us to put our sunglasses on.
So yes, so this is the light mode. As you can see, it is much brighter. But people really like this, and that's great.
Yeah.
I completely support, as long as we have the options to configure our environment to be the way we want it to be. Use what you find most useful,
Yeah.
or having the best look and feel for your what you do. I personally am all dark mode all the time, but hey, I completely respect the people that uh that 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 enjoy and like the light mode side of the house. There's no I, I I got no problem with that, right? That's pretty funny.
Yes, it is.
Future so bright, I need sunglasses. Uh, and Chris is saying I like the dark mode. That's right. Awesome,
We're
awesome.
not going to start singing the future so bright. I gotta wear shades song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Power BI. Well, remember, Power BI started out with a version of like dark mode. Now it was much more
Hmm.
gray than it was dark. Like this is black.
Right.
So maybe some hues and tones could be adjusted, but I think as we go in and look, you'll see like there is some variation inside of here, right? Like I don't know if you can make it out in here, but like
Yeah, there's some gray behind,
yeah, this is black.
and then you
This
got
is
gray.
black,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, there's gray in the middle there to help separate it out. So it's not all, but it is a dark gray. It's not a light
Yeah.
gray situation. So yeah,
And I think
yeah,
it pretty much matches, like Office and stuff like that. Because I think I kind of pulled it up side by side, and because I did see some other criticism that was talking about maybe it's too dark, there should have been a little bit, charcoal or something like that. But it seemed to match Office when I was looking at Office, because I run all my Office tools in dark mode as well. So yeah,
yeah.
so I
And I think it's all about choice. Forcing everyone
mhm.
into light mode or forcing everyone into dark mode. I think that's when you run into problems where people just have UI preferences for how they're interacting. And I love that we now have the opportunity to switch and change, and everybody can work with what works best for them. So, for those of you who had the hack dark mode that's been out there for like a year or so, you can stop using that. That was almost unusable. It turned everything that was white black, and everything black white. So
Mm.
that's really hard. This is much, much better. So
I
awesome, awesome.
wasn't even aware there was that hack out there, but
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple people with it, and I was a little jealous at first, and then I saw as they started to work with it, I'm like, oh, you can't tell when things are. I mean, like it even changed the report palette black
mm,
when it was white. It was very hard to like design and develop in, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Okay. All right, let's talk about the other stuff that we got going on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, pick an area.
Yep.
Stina, there's
Okay.
always a hack.
Let's see. So we're gonna be starting, and we're gonna be talking through the stuff that's in the Fabric monthly updates here. I'm gonna copy this. I'll post this in chat one more time. So please follow along and leaving comments when we hit on each of these sections as to what you think is most important or most interesting. So do follow along. The Power BI side, or I'm sorry, where did my Power BI go? The Power BI update, all they talked about here is dark mode, but there is a complete blog right up here for all of the Power BI updates as well. I'll share it out there too. And you can go in and see there's a whole bunch of
Can you
things.
make that a little bit bigger?
I sure can.
Perfect.
There's a whole bunch of things in the Power BI side that that kind of stand out. I'm going to call out two of my favorites. Number one, I really like. Is this control? Oh wait, I didn't zoom in. I zoomed in.
Oh,
But I'm not using Zoom it. I zoomed the browser in. I really like that Copilot. It now defaults to a full report summary. So when you go and you ask a question, it's going to give you answers from the whole service or for the whole report, and not just the page that you're on. That seems much more natural to me than the previous one, which was just the page, right?
yeah. Okay.
I really like that one. And then I am a big fan of the live edit of semantic models in direct link mode with Power BI Desktop.
Yes.
Because this allows you to now just download the PBIP file, work with it in desktop, and then go in and actually, you don't even have to do that. Technically, here, let's go and do that. I can go to Power BI semantic models.
Yeah, you're opening it like right from the service, aren't you?
Right. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find. Okay, here's my AdventureWorks Lake House. So this is one of my default. Oh man. Oh wait. This is something that's a preview feature. So I didn't turn it on in my desktop. So of course,
you might need to reboot to it or restart it. I bet you.
Yep. This one's gonna require me to restart.
Yeah.
So right here, live edit of Power BI semantic models in direct link mode. I turn that on, I click OK, and of course it requires a restart, so close that and I'll reopen it, and we'll show you what that looks like when that comes back up. So, oh hey, look,
Hey, look, even that's
dark. Yeah,
we saw it at the same time.
Yeah,
perfect. Yes, dark mode, everything.
Yes. All right, blank report. One link data hub, Power BI semantic models. And I go find one of my default warehouses, AdventureWorks Layer. It didn't work.
Well, because you're starting with a blank report. I think you want to open something existing.
No, this is not how they showed in the. There's supposed to be a little drop down here. Well, that's why we do this live. So we.
Well, you know, when it's there.
Yeah. No, they said you go in semantic. Maybe you do lake house. No, it's Power BI semantic models. And you take one of your lake houses, and there's supposed to be a little drop down there.
Huh.
This is not it. It did not work. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything is new. We haven't had a chance to go deep on a lot of things, right? So,
Yep.
I think you kind of you skipped over one on that list. Multiple org apps per workspace.
Ooh, yes. This is another great one. Look at that. Org app in preview. So now I can go into my workspace. I could say new. Where is it? Come on, man.
Everything is still rolling out, so sometimes it's
Well, so a few things. It has to be in a fabric capacity. So let's make sure my premium here or my premium here is a fabric capacity. It is a fabric capacity. Okay. New.
yeah, we don't know if that's going to go down to at this point.
Yeah. All right. So that doesn't work right now. So all right. Well, let's
Hasn't
keep
been
going.
rolled out to your tenant.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think that's going to be exciting to have the multiple apps per workspace.
Yep.
So that's something that a lot of people have been asking for. And I have to dig in, with the the custom colors too. I think before we only, for the shells, we only had a couple color choices. So I think that's going to be very interesting and very good to see.
Yes, so that will be really good. I'm going to call out one thing that is just this is the worst update I've seen, and Microsoft needs to fix this right away. This is offensive. They've got these new NFC tags supporting in Power BI Mobile. I don't know if you've seen this before or not. And it works great as long as you're on an Apple device. But if you're on an Android device, well, go pound sand. So, hey, Microsoft mobile team, like 80% of the world is using Android devices. You're down to 20% using Apple. So, like, fix your stuff. So,
That's interesting. I didn't know it was restricted to one type of device. You
yeah,
would think they'll come out with it. Maybe it was just easier
well,
on
they
the other one.
typically do, but it's like 9+ months later that they update it on some of the things. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, they gotta get better with that side. So, and hey, if you're Apple, great, God bless. Again, light mode, dark mode type thing. Use Apple, use Android, whatever your preference is. But our tools need to be universally workable. You can't just say this only works for iPhone. So, all right,
There's a
that's
lot
it.
in here just reading the titles. There's a lot of little things too that
Oh
are
yeah.
kind of nice.
Yep. Another big one that was in there. Where did it go? Reporting. Subscribe to reports on the last day of the month. This has been a pain in the flippin' rear forever, right? Like, oh, this is now so nice that we have.
Yeah, it makes it a whole lot easier.
Yep. All right, awesome. Anyone have any? Michael's asking. Maybe it doesn't work on default models.
That was the live edit part.
Yeah, the live edit. It's supposed like that is the main feature. Is that it's an update of direct link models that were created by the default models. That at least. And I watched the videos. I watched the demos this morning because I knew I was going to be demoing it today on this live stream. I'm like, okay, I'm going to demo it for the first time there. What I don't know is maybe I have to turn on, toggle some feature on or toggle some feature off, something like that. That's entirely possible, but I'm not doing that live because I have access to some stuff that
got to be careful.
Right. Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah, like I have some things that are supposed to be disabled for everything, and they're not disabling. So, like, oh, that's great.
And you can't edit live. All right.
Right. Yep.
Which one do we want to move on to next? What area?
All right. We did. Let's get back to that. We did Power BI. Next thing is Core. So they brought out trusted workspaces. Which I think this is a big one because we know we work with a lot of people that like need to have firewall enabled storage accounts so that they can actually like really lock stuff down, but allow for that stuff to be customizable. This works really well. I'm excited about this one, as well as managed private endpoint for connectivity to Fabric for data sources behind a firewall. I think this is another big one. Really want to see this and hope that this works for mirroring SQL or Snowflake. Would love it if that worked. That would be so freaking fantastic.
Yeah, this is something I'm gonna have to dig into soon because it's gonna play
Yeah.
into the architecture that I have. But yeah, because I want to make things more secure, and they keep adding other security things to us. Is it on this list? Because Christina brought one up about um, the supportive service principles. Um, at least
Hmm.
I think to the APIs or something like that. It's probably in this core somewhere.
Yeah, let's see here. Uh, Git
Couple of the announced,
integrations now.
yeah, things going to GA. Yeah.
Yep. The new deployment pipelines is in preview. Yeah, and
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that when I was working on a site, and I kind of liked it. It was a little bit different, but I haven't been able to dig very deep into it yet. So
oh, that's interesting that you have. Oh, I get it. So, like, this is a great example, right? Like, you've got your development tests pre-production, so like your QA, right? So you develop, you move into your integration for testing of development, then pre-prod for sign off, but then
hmm
you've got a different deployment for customer one and customer two, with
hmm
different parameters on your report so that they can go in and look at those. So, it's
yeah,
a different experience for each one. That's
it
that's
it
really great.
it almost feels like though customer two should come off a pre-prod, right? Instead of potentially picking up things from customer one. So I don't know if that's going to
Yeah.
be an update later on.
Well, I haven't played with it, so I'm wondering if it's possible to branch from there, but they just did it like this for
The demo
vis-
type of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
for the screenshot because it makes it easier to read like this,
Right.
right?
Yeah, and sometimes they gotta take their screenshot a little bit early, so
Ooh, advanced workspace focus. What does that mean?
they're trying to change out, because 'cause I've noticed my layouts changing quite a bit, but they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to get a different focus up on the service, and trying a couple other things, so, um, if you're getting started with data engineering, the items that are presented down, the data analytics, the things that you have there, keep changing on that homepage. Or
Hmm.
so it was kind of interesting. I'm a little bit on the fence on it because on mine, or at least the one I was working on yesterday, they had two different main areas. Yeah, and they're always doing some A/B testing, right? So
Yeah.
um, mine
Yeah.
gets a little bit shrunk down, and it's harder to find a couple things. So
Yeah. I don't see it, and I don't have the new experience for new stuff, right? Like it's still, that there's a new side deployment, right? Where you say new, and then it doesn't it doesn't pop up over here. It pops
Oh,
up over here.
yeah, mine's been doing that where it pops up over on the side and you can kind of scroll
Yeah.
on it. And it tries to focus in since whatever persona that you're in,
Mhm.
it tries to just say, here's things for that persona. That's the other thing that I kind of caught, and I think it was a lot of guy in the cube tweets and stuff,
Mhm.
is personas are either changing or like totally going away. I
Oh.
think I think they're going to at first when I saw it, I was like, what are you adding 2 more personas? But I think they're gonna change it to more like an analyst or a developer.
Mm,
Let me see if I can find
okay.
those tweets real quick.
Yeah,
Um, but
honestly,
there's
I think that'd be good because if you look at that, like, new more options, there's just too much stuff in here.
yeah,
Like this I think is gonna be exorbitantly confusing for a lot of people. For those of us watching this live stream, like, this is fine, right? Like,
yeah.
we know this stuff. We're comfortable with these things. Um, uh, oh, ooh, look at that. Andrew's saying in the new slide pane, there's the ability of favorite artifacts. That's great.
Hmm,
So if like you're working with stuff, you can always see your things up at the top. I would really like to see that. But this list is only going to grow, right? Like, okay, hey, we are still in the first year of Fabric. Are we at a year yet? I don't know.
yeah, I think we're a little bit over a year.
but I think this is going to be the first time that it's out there, or it's just going to continue to grow and evolve, and we're just going to have eventually way too much stuff showing up inside there if it's really shows everything. They need something like favoriting, or honestly, I really do like the persona thing.
Yeah, I can't find
Sad
it
to see that
real
they're
fast
moving away
here.
from that.
Yeah, it was something he talked about a couple days ago. But I saw it by kind of following what he talked about on Twitter. But there was something about the personas are going to be changing. So keep an eye out for that. And so yeah, it's going to move your cheese a little bit, I think. But we'll get used to it. I think it's going to be better from what I read or saw on the limited exposure that I had since I wasn't over there. Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, and I like this too. Like, hey, show less or show more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to view that. I want to see this. Right? I don't want to be in training. I like that. That works. And it's not gone forever, right? Like, look how easy it is to toggle it back. So it's not like I've closed it and now can't go back to it. But now I've got it all in a nice place. So this is nice. I like this. Yeah, that's good.
All right. What else do we got?
Good. Let's see what else we got here. Collapsible. Okay. Let's move on to where did my one like section go? I guess we're just gonna go right into one like. So here's probably like the biggest thing that's out there is the Access Databricks Unity catalog tables from Fabric. This is going in public preview. I don't have Databricks to demo this, but like there is a video someplace. Oh my gosh, where'd the video go? Oh wow. You can I saw the video. Maybe I'm not supposed to talk about the video. I don't know.
Conspiracy theories again.
Right. Where's my tinfoil hat?
There you go.
So what I think is gonna happen, brother, is you're gonna see like but this is fantastic, right? So you can so if you use Databricks, there's a great feature called Unity Catalog that allows for you to manage and govern all of your content. You set your access rights in there and all sorts of stuff. This allows you to have direct access to that within Fabric, so you can go and explore those catalog tables. It's quite cool, right?
Yeah, and I think what it's helping with is some people were shortcutting like one at a time, and this allows you to see it and bring in more at one time or whatever. And going to really kind of help with all the setup and everything. Love the tinfoil.
Yeah. I spend every hour of every day looking to where my cheese moved and who moved it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Because that's all it is every day something else changed. It's like, damn, where did that go?
Yeah. So Google Cloud shortcuts and S3 compatible shortcuts are now GA. So if that was at all something that was holding your organization back for getting that sync in to use those shortcuts, now you don't have to worry about that at all. That's all out there. The REST APIs for OneLake shortcuts are also GA. This means like you could do all sorts of things with sharing and other capabilities with OneLake. So that's out there.
Can you go back up to that? So is that it seems to be using an API to create the shortcuts?
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So one of the big things oh, there we go. You want to do we'll have to review Databricks. Paul is saying we'll have to review Databricks on another episode. Maybe we can cover Fabric and bricks, and we could definitely do that. I will say that in my demo tenant, I've attempted to get Databricks up and running 3 times. For whatever reason, it has not it hasn't worked. And let's be real here, and we're going to zoom in here. Believe it or not, this is not my full-time job, right? You know, I
It's
can only spend so many hours on getting demos ready before I have to abandon them and move on. So I don't
right.
know. It's probably all me. In fact, I'm sure it was all me. And it's not even Databricks. Databricks engineers have reached out, and we've set up 3 different meetings to get me set up so I can show you guys this stuff. And I apologize. I've just had conflicts arise, and that's just got kicked off. But we will get Databricks up and running. I'll be able to show you how to integrate them because they work really well together. So
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point, right? A lot of what we do has got to be, what we're doing in our day in, day out job, plus, having some access with Microsoft, hearing some of that, but setting up demos for things that we've just never worked on before takes a lot of time. So we try, but
yep, yeah. So yes,
I
so
haven't
there we
messed
are.
with that, the Copilot for data warehouse, but that seems
Yeah,
to be very exciting, right? Now I've seen things pop up, even though I'm not working on a again, everything with Copilot, you start at the F64. But I'm excited for some of the things that you have there because I've used the GitHub Copilot, and so I'm assuming the experience is going to be, a lot the same be the same. GitHub Copilot for me over in Visual Studio Code, I love it. I could tell it some things that I want to do, and it'll help me generate it. One of the big things here: fix broken T-SQL code, right?
yep.
So it'll help explain what the error is, help you fix the error. Um, yeah, it if you have enough capacity and everything, I love this kind of development path. As much as I'm kind of like on the fence about what AI is going to do for development work, you should be using it today. You know?
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to talk about why am I excited about this? Because they're the 2 most popular programming languages in existence. The 2
Hmm.
um, is Python and SQL. There, and the reason that's great is there's more functional working Python and SQL code in publicly available Git repositories or publicly available code scripts for these LLMs to learn and grow and be able to work
Hmm.
off of, right? That means these 2 repositories are going to become the best places to get good and true and right information for these LLMs, as for these co-pilots to be able to get this information from. So when someone says I'm using Copilot for something in Python or I'm using Copilot and something in T-SQL, I say yes. That is where Copilot should be working. That's where I want to see more of that stuff there. When people say we're going to use Copilot for DAX, I go, I think that's a mistake.
Yeah,
There's not enough DAX out there. DAX is so contextual. Like you run into all sorts of issues, right? So
yeah. The couple people that I've heard, that have gotten close with it with DAX is, you're also giving instructions to the LLM to focus on content that's on SQL BI. And then if
yep.
you tell it to kind of limit to that, then you got a better chance of doing it. But and
Yeah.
Christina brought up
Hey, Alt Enter though, I am very proud of you. Very proud of you for starting to work with T-SQL and starting to do more stuff in SQL. SQL is an enormously powerful language. Everyone needs to learn it. And so if you haven't started down that path, do what Alt Enter is doing and get started with SQL. Okay.
select from where.
Yeah, that's right. Select from where. Where's
That's how
my,
she got started with it.
yep. Like everyone should know that though.
Chris did a presentation one time, and he was in the room, and he's really loud saying that, and I'm in a session in the next room over. And the speaker actually stopped a couple times, going, "Wow, they're having fun over there." So
So that is my rule. If you come to one of my sessions, you will have fun and enjoy the session. So, because I love this stuff and I want you to love this stuff too. So, we will have a good time with it. Okay. Holy cow, Kevin! We have 15 minutes
I
left.
know we're not, and there's a
We're not
couple
doing
things I
good.
really want to get to that aren't even on the
Yeah.
blog post. So that's
Okay. Well, let's. In fact, there we go. Let's pause the blog post. Let's talk about what you want to hit on.
here's one. I really want to pick on one called Timdo scripting. And so what is that? This
Yeah.
is definitely a pro opportunity, right? But we know Timdo now, the semantic model has this support for a language called Timdo, which scripts out what your objects look like. And it started off with being able to give us better source control. It's easier read than the JSON that comes out. Well, what they're working on is to build this into another view within Power BI Desktop so that you could script out one of your objects in Power BI Desktop and it'll produce the Timdo code for it. Then, if there's properties that Power BI Desktop isn't exposing, now they're exposed because they're in the Timdo, and you could change them very quickly, very easily. So I think it's going to take that restriction off, right? Everybody going, well, wait, how do I change it in desktop instead of having to jump out to tabular editor or something like that? Again, these things doesn't mean tabular editor is going to go away, right? But you're going to have a better experience that you could do everything within one tool. And as part of this, they're going to be exposing or setting out a Visual Studio Code extension for Timdo. So I think that's going to help out a lot of the pro type development. Kind of another little scenario with that is, let's say I have two models and I have a conform dimension, and I want to make sure that I have the same updates in both models. I could go into model one that I already updated, generate the Timdo, bring that view up in model 2, just copy that Timdo over and run it, and now I've got the same update. So I think it's going to have a lot of good use cases, and they're going to embed all the same type of things with Copilot and getting errors and having telesense with it and everything. I don't know that I could do it justice from the little bit that I've seen. They're talking about it. They actually, I think, just finished their session over there. There's still sessions going on today. I was watching Mike Carlo on the Power BI Tips Twitter account live tweet about it. So if you want to see some more things, go look on Twitter. Look for Power BI Tips, because I know Mike's over there. And he loves it too. So that was one. Do you have anything else that wasn't on the list that? Did we
No,
talk?
I do not.
Okay.
I'm just going through the list. That's all I've been able to follow and catch up on. Or I
So
didn't notice if it was not on the list. I'll be honest.
yeah, the Timdo scripting is a sneak peek. So that definitely. I think this is on the list somewhere, but Spark Native Execution Engine. And what I've seen coming out of the conference is
Mhm.
you could set for that type of engine in your Spark notebooks, and they're claiming it's going to give you 4 times the performance. So,
Wow,
and
that's a big one.
yeah, and then a couple people just keep reiterating that, and we're just including this in there. It's
Yep.
not like you have to pay extra to get all this better performance and everything. So that's going to be something for everybody using notebooks to kind of keep an eye out and look into. And then Fernando just stole my last one, putting it out there. This
Oh,
one
the DP
is
700.
yeah, the DP
Yeah.
700. That was a surprise to me. I knew nothing about it ahead of time. Um, I think it's going to be interesting to have a certification exam dedicated to data engineering. I think it's good. Data engineering is so big, and talk with people all the time. I go to conferences or speak at a session, and people come up to me afterwards and say, if you're trying to get into this or something, where would you focus? And I tell them data engineering right now. I think it's hard to find good data engineers, that have the right experience and everything. So this DP700 could help open doors for people, at least kind of show, you understand the concepts, right? Certification doesn't always mean that you're great at it. There are some people that could take certification tests and just pass them without really studying, but it's a good way to, kind of get started and at least know somebody has the right concepts to go with and then dig into their actual knowledge. You look
All right.
skeptical.
No, I'm sorry.
You had one of the looks on your face like you were going to totally go the opposite direction of what I just
No,
said.
no, I was going to. Well, here, let me share my screen. I was just kind of while you were talking, I was trying to find that, and then I stumbled upon this workspace level setting to reserve max cores for jobs in Fabric.
Huh.
So like if you have something critical that's running and you want to make sure that you've got cores available for it, you can go in and set that to make sure that you have those cores available for that workspace. Like, oh, that's fantastic. Thinking that would be a capacity a capacity level setting, and it's not. It's a Fabric or it's a workspace admin level setting. And I was gonna say this actually would probably do the opposite of helping people because now
Everybody will set their minimum.
yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah, there
oh no.
there has to be something at the higher level to say, wait a minute,
Yeah.
has everybody just kind of reserved it?
Right. Like I want my capacity admins to be able to determine whose workspaces or what workspaces get that um get that commitment, which I love. I want to have that, but it's at the capacity admin, not the workspace admin, that I'd want this capability, because that would mean I would then remove all of my admins from my workspaces and put them at the lower contributor level. I don't really want to do that. So that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because if it's only the admin role that could do it, right? Now you're gonna
Yeah. Right.
limit it down to just this set of people so that they could go in after somebody, give a request process. Well, I'm contributor or member on this, and I could sit there and set everything up, but now I have to give a request to Chris to say, hey, I have to guarantee this runs, and you're the only one that could set this. It is a little bit interesting. So
Yeah.
yeah, as
And
Jack said,
yeah.
did anybody say governance? Yeah, governance is got to be thinking that all the time.
Fernando's got a good question. Like, what about building beautiful reports that's going away from all this pro technical stuff? Um, that's actually a great question, Kevin. This was a very engineering heavy release.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything recently on the core visuals, the vision that was laid out quite a while ago. I'm really hoping we'll start seeing some more of that. That is a little bit of a challenge. You know, I don't take this as a message from Microsoft that the visualization side is good enough. But it's always you got to figure out where you're going to squeeze that balloon, right? Where are you going to put the
Right.
dollars to? And they have a lot invested in Fabric. There's, when we said it's about a year or a little over a year that it's into it, they got to firm up some things so that people are really ready to adopt that side of it. So I understand spending the dollars on this side for now, but I'm hoping there's going to be some progress on updating those core visuals, like we heard a roadmap for that. I think on one of your streams, right? You had Miguel, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And he's laying out a great vision for it. We've seen a little things here and there, but I think we need to see more. So yeah, good call out.
Yeah, and Miguel is working on that stuff. I had some conversations with him a few weeks ago, or I'm sorry, about a month ago. A lot of stuff is still in flight, but there's a lot of engineering that goes into making that usable, workable, and is backwards compatible as possible. And so they're just working through all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah, that's the hard part because think how many reports are out there that you just can't break. So that's not an easy task.
yep, yep.
I like Christina's statement, right? Maybe that'll be the focus in March, right? So the FabCon coming up in March. So yeah,
mhm.
we do know that they'll have FabCon in America in Vegas in March, and I think I saw something. I'm assuming it'll be around this time again next year, but Vienna is where it's going to be for FabCon Europe next year. So start your travel plans now.
Yeah, and before we have just 4 minutes, I think we
Yeah.
have time for one last thing. I'm going to talk about something that I am super excited about, but I worked with it in the private preview, and now it's out in like public preview of this. So I don't know how much is different between what we looked at in private and public. So I want to see what's out there. But this new AI skills feature is fantastic because it allows you to put in all sorts of very purpose-driven queries and
Hmm.
like regressions into like a chatbot type experience that people can go and ask for information from. So if you've got like things that people are always asking you or pestering you for information, you can go and get this information right from within like a chatbot, right? So
Hmm.
I don't know about anyone but like or anyone else, but like I've worked on and been part of teams where like, hey, when someone comes in, we're gonna get a request to generate this report, and we do it on demand, and we don't have it published. When someone requests, we then take it and then we run the query and blah 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 blah. Right? This can allow you to do that self-service, like crazy query that you can't necessarily put easily into a tabular model. You
Hmm.
can put that right into an AI skill so people can go in and generate that. So I'm excited to do a deeper dive into this. And, uh, if any luck exists, maybe we can get Nelly on sometime to like show us this and talk to us about this. This is a fantastic new feature that's out there.
Yeah. And if you don't know, right, go out to fabric.guru.
Hmm.
Sandeep has been looking into this quite a bit, and I think he's already shared some code examples of things that he's done with the AI skill.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
follow
Yep.
up with
Yep.
Andrews. I like what he said.
Yep.
But
And so clearly, we did not get through all the
oh,
updates. Um,
we didn't even get up on all the things that are on my list. So
yeah. So whatever we missed, leave those in the chats down below. Especially if you're watching this later or not as part of the live stream, let us know what you missed. We'd love to see those chats and keep this conversation going. Tag Kevin, myself on X or on LinkedIn if you see
hmm.
something that's interesting. This is there's just so much
Yeah,
good stuff in here.
yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, well, I got to pack still, so
Okay. All right. And I gotta get going too. So thank you guys all so much for joining us today. You guys have the best day ever. All right. Peace.
peace.
Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.